Hey guys, greetings. Hopefully you can hear me and see me. I know this is not really scheduled. Looks like I'm in focus. So if there's anybody out there, just give me a thumbs up. And if you can hear me, so I know everything's working good. Purpose of today is just to kind of catch up with everybody, just see how everyone's doing. I'm taking a little lunch break, working from the command center today. Having a hard time getting into work and stuff, but hey, making things work. Committed to the shift says hi there, hello to you. So it looks like we are working. Hopefully you guys got something to drink, like a coffee. I have just made me another coffee. Oh man, crazy times. I thought maybe try to do these as much as I can, just for an opportunity for us to meet up and say hello. Let me change my audio around so that it's going through the right place. So, I see GA says, hey, long time. Good to see you. It looks like, according to my little counter, there's a few people on. So it looks like YouTube is working. At least it hasn't shut down. So let me ask you this. If you can, in the comments, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? Are you doing good? Stressed? Things going all right? Committed to shift says, heading to grab a cup now. And I have been trying to get into my work stuff all day, and it just now started to work, which is really weird. Perfect timing. But I think I'll be okay while taking this little 30-minute break. And I do have my system set up, I think, so that if I have troll problems, that I can take care of that this time. So that'll be nice. So I see Tara is in. 11 Kids is here. Mark, Michael, welcome you guys. Michael V. So let's see. Is everyone doing all right? I don't know. Maybe it's a little backed up. I'm doing better. I took the bandage off my finger, except that it's swollen and it feels weird. Not too bad though, but it's healing up. But I cut it pretty good, so I could have been a lot worse. Like I said the other day. I know that everybody's stress levels are up. It's really kind of an interesting time because we have to be extra vigilant about not getting really overly spun up on things, and that is so hard to do in these situations because there's a lot of unknown. The media, every time, I'm sure you guys are like me, every time you look at the news, it's not it's very stressful. Let me see what's going on. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so I can read it. Oh, at least I can try to make it bigger. Oh, there we go. Much better. Much better. And I'm going to move this over here so I don't have to see it. Thanks, you old Johnny Road says, glad to see you're doing better. You also sound better. Oh, I do. But I mean, I've been on so many antibiotics and stuff that it's just been, it's been an interesting experience. So I didn't know you could take that much stuff all at once. So let me see who all we got on here, or who else is what people are saying. We got somebody from Cincinnati, Indiana. Committed Shift says we go on lockdown at midnight tonight. A little anxious about that, but know it's necessary. GA says don't know how long it's been since last I had a chance to speak to you. Divorce finalized, in isolation with COVID-19 going on. Can't work. A lot of me time. College shutting down now though. Yeah, it's definitely a time to. We're all going to get a lot of extra time to ourselves, aren't we? Let's see. M Stu. Hey, M Stu says going okay. Getting ready to go into lockdown tomorrow night for a whole month minimum. Jay says, I hope you and your family are well, Duane. So far, everyone is doing well, and I'm not sure which kids are coming back tonight, but I know at least my youngest and more than likely my oldest. My middle one doesn't really seem to come over that much anymore, but that's okay. Debbie's doing well. We got to actually see each other a little bit yesterday, which was kind of nice. For you guys that don't know, we don't actually live in the same place. Partly that's because where she lives is like 3 minutes from her work, so it'd be pointless, otherwise. Lenny, hello to you. Hey, just another question I had is I didn't monetize this video. Did anyone get an ad when this ran? I figured running ads on this type of stuff. My finger still feels weird though. Would be kind of annoying. So on the ad question, anyone get any ads? Hopefully the answer is no. Let me see. Michael says, doing fine, trying to see the positive while being realistic about the situation. Worried about my kids who are with the ex who is treating this like the seasonal flu. Guys, well, you know what? I'm not going to say it, or I guess I will say it. Man, people need to take this seriously. I mean, this is either one of the biggest damn conspiracies on the planet, or the data is scaring the governments, local, federal, enough that they're like, holy crap, if we don't get a handle on this, this is going to be bad. And I tend to lean towards that if we don't get a handle on this, it's going to be bad. So I think that's, this isn't the seasonal flu. And anybody who hasn't seen, oh, cool, no ad, awesome. Anybody who has been watching some of the reports, I mean, this is hitting everybody. I think there was this misnomer earlier on, and okay, this is my opinion, right? This is not, I'm not I'm a nobody in that regard on this topic, but from what it appears, yes, younger people can survive, but they still have really bad symptoms, and without the proper medical care, they wouldn't, right? So, I mean, it's like we need to take it seriously. We need to social distance. We need to, wash our hands. I mean, I've learned more about washing hands and stuff in the last couple of weeks than I have in my entire life. I saw an outstanding video the other day talking about why the 20-second thing is. And in case you guys don't know, if you haven't seen it, which I thought was really interesting, it's the oil capsule that the virus lives in is broken down by regular soap. And if you wash it for 20 seconds, it breaks down the wall of it and the whole thing just disintegrates. Didn't realize that. So, so kind of interesting. So, but I mean, we need to, we definitely need to take it seriously. And I would say for you out there who are dealing with somebody who has access or, physical possession of your kids, and they're making stupid mistakes. I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, you're going to have to document it for later and hope that it goes well. Let me see what else we got going on. And I'm going to probably miss some comments. I'll try to catch it. I know I was talking to Deb the other day that I missed a lot of some of the subtle comments. So I'll see if I can actually catch everything this time. GA says, that's the thing with all this lockdown. I am stressing, worried about my daughter, who I haven't seen since 14 months. At this rate, it'll be 2 years. I don't even know if she is well. No contact. Yeah, I mean, and that's a big problem on this, is because, prior to this current world situation, our situations are very stressful, especially when you're in that, like what GA is at in this stage of this. I mean, it's even more important now to keep yourself as calm and stable as possible, as sane as possible, and realize that, I see it's hard because as I'm thinking about what I'm trying to say, I can also at the same time empathize with how I would feel if in this current situation, it would be so easy for me to get completely stressed, completely spun up and irritated that how in the world can this piece of garbage of a human being not even allow me to know, give me some information about how my kids are doing. And unfortunately, we would hope that somebody would have the compassion to say, okay, these are kind of extraordinary times. This is really kind of screwed up. Let's at least let the kids FaceTime or talk on the phone to the other parent. But right now, like I was talking about the other day, I don't necessarily, I mean, if it's not something in it for them, the likelihood at this stage, until things really start to get weird, that they would change is unlikely. I know, GA, that's not a great, I mean, that's not like a good, yay moment, so to speak. But I mean, that's the reality of it. But the reality on your side of it is just, okay, you know what? This is a situation. I got to keep myself healthy. I need to keep myself not completely stressed. Don't wear down my immune system so that you're able to weather this and be able to get to the other side of it. And excuse me, pardon me. And I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's absolutely not going to be easy. It's not going to be fair. I mean, the best case scenario would be that the ex would say, you know what, hey, the kids are scared, the kids are nervous, they want to know that you're okay. I'm sure you want to know that they're okay. And hey, let's why don't you talk to them on the phone? Here's the thing: be very careful. I mean, obviously, if you have a current restraining order or anything like that, I mean, I'm not saying that you do, GA, but I mean, just in that, if that is your situation, don't do anything to violate it, because you don't want to. I mean, if you're dealing with someone evil, they're not going to necessarily look at this situation and have any empathy on what's going on, right? I mean, if you don't have a stay away order and you want to send, hey, could I please talk to the kids? Just don't beg and chase, throw one thing out there and leave it, and don't completely go out. Because what they'll do, if they're still in that mindset of control, then they can just use it to screw with you more, which will wear you down more. So on that, does that make sense, guys? Do you agree with me on that, or does that sound like bad advice? I know it's tough whenever, it's hard to tailor a message to cover multiple levels of this. Meaning, at the early stages, you kind of see things one thing, and if you're in the middle of it, a little bit farther along, then then you see things differently. And if you're on the other side of it, you definitely have a different view. Committee to the Shift says, a former client of mine went to get her daughter from her ex, and he refused to let her go. Police will not help. They said, not a priority. Surprisingly, gal also contacted police, same answer. Yeah, see, that's the other thing, guys. I mean, realistically, at this stage, nobody is going to care about this, about our little issues. If someone's hurting the kids, okay, fine. If it's a criminal issue, but I think this is going to be even more, like in the past before this happened, oftentimes law enforcement would say it's a civil issue, take it to court. I think even now it's going to be even worse. I know that like Wendy Hernandez, I think her, and I even think Dad Talk Today had an interview or a show the other day on their channel where somebody was specifically talking about the legal aspects of this. It's just, you got to keep in mind the situation we're dealing in right now. Oziel says, hi, DSD. Well, hi to you, Oziel. GA says, I spoke to family, go through legal, cover myself at least, don't want to jeopardize. Yeah, it helps. Okay, well, that is good. God, man, I can't believe I'm getting winded already. That's annoying. Did I miss anything? Obviously, like I said, guys, I'm going to, John Bissonette, I'm sorry. Hi, John from Wales. Hi, Jennifer from upstate New York. I'm scrolling up, so I missed some things. I got multiple windows open because I wanted to make sure that if we have that little event like we had the other day, that I'm in a much better position to kick trolls out of the live stream. Whew. All right, I'm scrolling up. Man. I hope you guys are also spending, if you're by yourself, spend some time watching things that are doing things that are not stressful. Debbie and I decided the other day, probably not the best move, to watch the first episode of The Lord of the Rings, which is an outstanding movie. But when you're already stressed because of how stressful the world is, those type of movies aren't really that great. So pick comedies, pick things that are funny, maybe not dark humor, or just if it is, just something that actually keeps things light and not too serious. Because, even with me, I think I'm dealing with this okay. But it was kind of stressful. It took us 2 days to watch that movie. Just kind of like, okay, we'll watch a little bit here, watch a little bit there, and don't do it to yourself. Find find things that are uplifting. Find things that get your mind off of it. Now, obviously, you need to stay aware of what's going on in your local area, what the changes are. You need to make sure that you're okay, that you've taken care of the things that you need to take care of. Really think about it. If you think you need to go outside to like go to the grocery store or something like that, really look and see if you need anything. Right? I mean, if you're low and you're like, oh crap, I don't have. I mean, I am like down to my last package of top ramen and a package of chicken, and you don't have anything else. Okay. Venture out, but otherwise just kind of hunker down. And try to minimize the added stress that you're going to be adding in your life. If you're dealing with a toxic ex that's just, poking you right in the eye and really trying to make things worse, honestly, what I would recommend right now is take a deep breath, stop trying to get with them, and do some stuff for yourself. I mean, one of the things I've been doing lately is I've been watching a lot of camping and bushcraft. Not that I'm going to be doing any bushcraft videos, because they're interesting, right? I mean, they're kind of funny. They have nothing to do with about this, but I'm learning something. I feel like I'm doing some stuff. I'm learning how to tie knots. I mean, something like that. So whatever might be the case for you. If you have a guitar and you want to play that, or try to practice with that. But don't, try not to bring extra stress and stuff into your life. Like I was talking about before, don't watch a movie. Don't go watch Saw 7 or something. It's just because that type of stuff is getting you more anxious, and we're already incredibly anxious. Let me see what else people are saying. Jewel Watching Jim says, thank you for these chats. Please, everyone, be safe. Much light and love to all. Evelyn says, exactly, because after all, let's remember that God still is in control. Jewel Watching Jim says, yes, good time to practice keeping your vibration high or study. I like that. That's good. And then John says, thanks for the mention. I've been watching your channel for about 2 years, and I'm a DSD with a malignant covert wife going through a divorce. Dude, I'm sorry, especially right now. Thanks for all you have done to provide. Well, just hang in there, John. I mean, it's tough, but it's not, I mean, what I'm trying to say, it's doable. I was going to say it's not doable. That's not what I meant. I mean, getting through this is definitely possible. And the more that we understand and know what we're dealing with, the more we understand and know what our exes are doing or what they're going to do, it makes it harder for them to be effective in really trying to spin us out of control. Oh man. Well, Evelyn says, while there life there is hope, let go and allow God and to do the job so he doesn't need our help. He's got us in the world. I think we'll be okay. I mean, I think everyone needs to take a breath and really calm down. Make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. Make sure that we're checking up on people. So if anyone does get sick, they can get the medical assistance that they need and the appropriate time. And we'll get to the other side of this. Sophia says, hard to find grocery delivery. Waiting for delivery coming in 2 days. Been using up what I had in fridge and pantry, but it's getting stressful. Well, hopefully you do have that delivery coming in, and that you'll be able to make things last until that happens. Golden Girl says, thanks for the chat. Keep them coming. Waiting 7. Sophia says waiting 7 days for delivery. Now I know some places, I heard that some places, not in my town, but in the outlying areas, which are bigger, have delivery services. I'm not sure. I would be stressed as well if I was out of stuff. Are you going to be okay, Sophia? I mean, do you still have stuff, and is that delivery scheduled, or what's happening with that? Pat W says, stay safe, everyone. Well, you too, Pat. Hopefully you are doing okay where you are. If you don't mind me asking, I know some people already said it, but where is everybody coming from? I mean, I'm from I'll put this in the chat. California. Ow, hard to type with my finger. Oh, Gaspan, haven't seen you in a while. Says the ex-narc recently messaged me to say she is stopping phone calls with my children, all because she cannot control the situation. See, and that's what I'm talking about. And what I would say on that is, I see the if your kids are older, it's harder for them to do stuff like that. But okay. Although toxic people, narcissists, live in chaos and enjoy it, they like it typically when they can control it. And I would say this is gonna push their ability to be rational, and they're already rational. They're already not rational. I mean, so it's just going to make it worse. Glad to hear you say, I'm not stressing. I expected this kind of punishment action. And that's the thing, guys. Everyone should kind of expect that. And if it happens, try not to allow it to really derail you, because it is really important that we keep our sanity and our emotions in check, and our emotional health as good as we possibly can, right? And it's already stressed. I mean, so this is kind of like, this is even more critical that we're able to calm down and be as good as we can possibly be with these situations. So Gaspan, I'm glad to hear that you're dealing with it okay, because I know a lot of people are not. So let me run down the list. We got Indiana, we got Portsmouth, England in the UK. We got another UK, Dallas, Texas, Arizona, Kenya. Wow. Oh, I knew that, Golden Girl. I forgot about that. Nairobi, Kenya, Midlands, UK. So Virginia, or VA. That's not Virginia. God, my brain's not working today. We got New York State, another New York State. Susie says, in Italy, they are turning away those over 60, not enough ventilators and supplies. They are left to die on their own. What the hell? Susie, are you in Italy, or are you just mentioning that from the news? Because I've read that. That's really horrible. But see, that's the problem that I think some people aren't realizing with this. Is I think the initial reports were like, oh, okay, well, young people can get it, but it doesn't really affect them that bad, and old people, it can take them out. Well, the problem is that the young, like I said at the beginning of this, the young people can get it, and they're strong enough that with how bad this is, they can survive it with ventilators and whatnot. But without even the younger people, some of them that end up in those critical situations, which are happening, they wouldn't make it either. And it really sucks whenever you look at it. And and that's what that's what, in my opinion, what they're trying to do in the United States right now is to limit that curve, to make sure that it's not getting to the point where they've run out of everything. Because I get it, right? I mean, honestly, if there's one left and they roll me in, you know, with my diabetes and my lung problems and other things. And if there's some 30-year-old who's in better shape, I could see them saying, well, this guy, me, even if we give it to him, might not make it. You know, if we do give it to this other guy, the 30-year-old, you know, our 27-year-old, you know, there's a good chance that person is going to make it. I mean, they might have some lifelong effects afterwards, but they'll survive, you know. All right, you know, wheel me over in the other room. I mean, it's scary, you know. I mean, it is kind of a scary time. So hopefully in all the different areas, I know Italy's just been hammered. Hopefully they will, you know, here in the US, they'll be able to, you know, keep it measured to where there's enough equipment and medical supplies to cover the amount of patients. That's why it's so darn important for everyone to really take this social isolation and take it seriously. All right, let me scroll around. Let me see where else we got. And I wonder how long are we going for? Yeah, I'll have to punch here in a little bit and go back to work. Plus, even though I do feel a lot better, I'm still not great. So doing a 30-minute talking show is a little difficult for me. Okay, I'm scrolling. I'm trying to just catch up where I was. Angela says, hey all, I hope you are all right. I'm staying home, getting deliveries, not a big problem. Out of some things and eventually get them. I was lucky, was stocked up before this all happened. Oh, I wish I was. I was like not stocked up. We got Jennifer from Ireland, Evelyn from New York, Daisy Dreamer from Colorado. Let's see. Hey, Josh. Maybe it would be a good time for us to do our little collaboration if you're not working or have extra time. It says, in a weird way, I feel like people are going to step into my world being taken advantage of, not by the narc like I had, but by government pandemic situation. Yeah, you might be true. Thank you so much, Will, for the super chat. I appreciate that. I'll go ahead and post that in the thing. And it says, X is using, lockdown as an excuse to alienate while simultaneously trying to hoover. It's insane. It is. It is crazy what these people will do. And let me scroll back up here. Oh, we got Norway. Man, I'm going to read this. Don't take this as a political thing, but I think this is important. Susie says, and just a month ago, our biggest worry was why Nancy ripped up those papers, meaning the State of the Union speech, how quickly life can change. No, I'm in Nebraska. Okay. You know what, guys? I think that's really... I often talk about this. You guys have heard me say this, right? And if you heard me say this, give me a thumbs up so that I know that part has got out. One of the interesting parts about our experiences is we learn that not too many things are important, right? We take a look at our lives and we look back at all the things that we worried about, all the things that we got stressed about, all the things that we devoted energy to, and realize it didn't deserve any part of that. And I think, that's kind of, even now in this situation, it really boils down to, what is really, really important. I was talking about that a bit in the show I did the other day, Saturday. And I think that's still true, right? Things are going to go back to normal, but my hope is that once they go back to normal, we can look at it. We can look at all of this crap that we have to deal with, and we can look at the shenanigans from the X. Like a lot of you guys have said in this chat so far today, that they're playing games, but you're not worried about it or it doesn't bother you. And I hope that that's kind of what comes out of this, is that we can look at it and say, you know what, all this BS that's happening, Does it really matter? Now, obviously, if you're not seeing your kids, it does matter, right? I'm not negating that. But as soon as you're able to persevere and get to where you can have some time, then, it's like, okay, then the stuff that they're doing is irrelevant. And I would even say, even if you get to the point that they do successfully alienate your kids, you don't ever get to see them. At some point, you just say, you know what? Okay, that's life. That's what's happened. That's the hand I've been dealt. I'm not going to let it define me. I'm not going to let it beat me. I'm going to pick myself up. I'm going to dust myself off, and I'm going to live the best damn life I can in spite of that piece of garbage, piece of crap human being. And maybe someday my kids will come back around, and if not, I'm going to live the best damn life I possibly can and not let this destroy me, right? I mean, I know people who are in the midst of this, could easily look at that and say, well, that's easy for you to say, Duane. You got 50-50. You're going to get to see your kids, or at least one of them in a few hours. And yeah, that's true. But I mean, you gotta adapt to what's happening and not let it freaking ruin you. I mean, and especially right now with the stress so damn high, I mean, it would be so easy to start to lose your sense of hope. That's one of the reasons why I'm going to try to do as many of these little get-togethers. I would prefer if we could do it to where multiple people could be on, but that obviously isn't working real well. But, just so that we can kind of like be there for each other, so that we can realize we're not alone, have some outlet to interact with people. Anyways, sorry, I'm starting to get winded. Which means I'm gonna have to bail. Plus, I have to jump back on the work stuff here in a little bit. Let me double check what else we're going. Yeah, Old County Road says lockdown allow legitimacy to parental alienation. Unfortunately, that is true. It really is. And we just have to, if you're getting caught up in that, and I know Old County Road you are, just realize that this is a moment in time that we have to get through. Oh man. Okay. All right. On that, so before I wrap this up, I just would like to hear from everybody. Is everybody okay? Say yes or no. I want to see is anybody really, really pushed to the edge right now who's out there? Of the 45 people we have out there, is everybody okay? Because I don't want to miss anybody. If somebody's having some problems, I'd like to make sure that we all are able to, make sure we can do what we can. Pat W. says, I've been going to food banks before this started, so things are already tough. I heard from a local church that helped me get food today. Good, God is good, standing in peace right where you are. See, I think, yes. Okay, cool. I'm seeing a bunch of yeses. That's great. Let me close this so I can actually see part of this stuff. All right, yes. Yes, I'm okay. We are counting our blessings. Yes. Michael, yes. Gaspin, yes. Oh, thanks, Angela. Angela said, did a super chat. Says, I'm a patron sponsor already. Here is something extra, Duane. Buy some groceries and some Clorox. Dilute it and cleanse with Clorox bleach wherever possible. Take care of yourself. You will not lose your kids. They all love you. And I think that's true for all of us, even if we get into a situation where they're being convinced that that's not the case. Yeah. Will says, hope you feel better. Self-care is first and foremost. Hey, I was feeling better. I just didn't realize that I didn't need to push myself so much. Oh, man. All right, guys. I didn't see anybody. I think everyone's saying yes, so that is awesome. Yes, hanging in there. Golden Girl, yes. Uh, let's see. Lenny, hey, how's it going? Says, I reached out to my daughter about all this going on with the virus. No reply. I texted me. Enough is enough. The world is changing. Nothing. But 2 days later, hands me a bill. You okay doing? Yeah, I'm okay. Hey guys, just keep in mind, I have a really good relationship with my kids, right? And they don't answer my text much either. I mean, I've been trying to text them uh, periodically, and it's hit or miss. Like my youngest ignored everything I sent her up until this afternoon, which she's like, "Yeah, I'm coming over. I'll see you later." I mean, so it doesn't mean, it don't. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say keep it in perspective and don't take it necessarily personal, because it doesn't mean, they're not looking at things the same way we are, right? I mean, I remember a time when I couldn't get anything from my ex. I mean, not my ex, my kids. And I would text them. They would ignore me. They would come over. They would spend the entire time texting their mom. And I'm like, what the hell? And it hurt my feelings. And it made me feel like, well, am I doing something wrong? Am I not, okay, I shouldn't be touching my face. Am I not, do they not love me? They do. And they did, and they still do. And sometimes they just don't respond. I know in your situation, Lenny, it's a little more stressful, but just, you know, I would imagine that kids who are already stressed and uptight about this are even going to be more hyper vigilant about potentially making the parent that they're with angry or upset with them, because they want to maintain as much stability as they possibly can in their own life. Okay. Oof. Oh, Hans, hey, hadn't seen you pop on. Sorry, we're getting ready to shut down. It says, always a pleasure to meet you here. Good to see you too. Flyboy C, hey, man, good to see you online. I will probably try to ping you a little bit later. Everyone is saying yes. And I am going to call it a show. I'm still working from home, so I tell you what, I will try to do this again tomorrow around noonish time. And I'll try to do the thing where I schedule it so it'll show the announcement for the show on the time, and I'll work it around my work schedule. Oh, crap. Wait a minute. I'll have people here. Okay, so I might not be able to do that. I'll have to think about that one. Crap, I wasn't thinking straight. So, anyways, forget what I just said. Just watch the feed and see what's going on. Everyone take care. If anyone out there is really struggling and needs someone to, whatever, email me. I'll try to respond as much as possible. There have been some people who have been doing that. Yeah. So on that, I'm going to wrap this up. Oh man, Flyboy C, thank you for the super chat. I'll go ahead and post this before I go. It says, dude, did I miss this? Are you discussing Corona shared care? Kind of we did. Maybe that'll be the next topic. Thank you so much for the support, Flyboy C. I appreciate that. All right, guys. I'm going to call it, and I will chat with you on the next one. Take care. Bye.